It's not even good coffee. Like, honestly, it tastes pretty bad, but it's my coffee. Hey everybody, it's Stewart. Time for some more Stellaris. So, let's go ahead and just get to it. Where were we last time? So, we're expanding. We're trying to, get some migration treaties. I think now we need to think about colonizing some planets and securing our borders for the future. So that is going to be the main goal today. So let me see here. Where's this construction ship? What is he all about? He's at Eramus. And yeah, so a lot of these stars in Stellaris are actually... where's this one? Very important. Very, very important discovery. Where are you? Is it... Do I say... Okay. Yeah. Hadronimus. Okay, so we want to try to get that star system if possible. Living metal is extremely good. It basically lets you build megastructures for a gigantic discount. In fact, if we go to our technology, we'll wait until engineering rolls over, and then we will. Then I can show that off. But yeah, it basically makes your. If you can harness that stuff, it's amazing. It just makes everything better in the late game. So with that in mind, we're kind of in a race for it, aren't we? Because we've got this neighbor here is clearly expanding in that direction. We're not near that area. This one. So this one can potentially be dangerous, but I think it's worth going for the potential reward, so we will do that. What else? What else? All kinds of crazy stuff. Aliens, weapons. Yeah, go ahead and research it. Then I'll queue you up for surveying these star systems. Now, there's also some living metal over here. So if we don't get this living metal up in Hadronus or whatever, we can potentially fight the synthoids over Olzagamum over there. Some of these names are so funny. Everything's happening. It's crazy. I hate pausing, but maybe we'll pause real quick. Yeah, see, so living metal mega construction. It's a mega structure build speeds are just doubled. I mean, that's an amazing edict. On top of that, yeah, you can use it to get the actual living metal resource, which I don't think you can use it for anything other than mega construction. But you know, it still, I mean, being able to build a Dyson sphere with 50% faster build speed, that's phenomenal. And if we can potentially get that, we're going to make the effort. It's a little bit, it's going to be touch and go. These guys, the Mitrons, are closer, and they probably will try to spread there. The AI definitely prioritizes special resources, so it's going to be a challenge. Maybe the Mitrons, though, will waste their time spreading in this direction and leave this area alone. I don't particularly want to war them, but I don't know. We might have to buy living metal off the market if we don't get a source, but I'm hoping that we get a source. So what can we actually pick here? Once again, it's just not giving us the kind of text I want to see. We'll go for the refineries. It'll be faster than nothing, and we have the bonus research. So, you know, in 25 months, we'll reshuffle our cards and hopefully start to get some text that we actually care about. Moving down here. So, right. Oh, yeah, that's one thing I wanted to do. I need to move. Okay, so the starbase. There's a lot going on right at the beginning, right? But let's unpause. I'm trying to do that a little bit more often. Research that, sure. And so, yeah, just move there and be ready to claim it when we need to. I want to move my starbase away from Sol system because I think that would be. Let's see. Do we get UV lasers or do we go for armor? Honestly, I think I'm going to push for the weapons over the armor. I don't really want to get move away from... Whoa, this is a big fleet. Progenitors. I wonder why they went out here. That's strange, right? Normally they don't just kind of wander around. What are they doing? Just hanging out, I guess. They might have done some tweaks to the AI, and so maybe now the progenitors kind of like wander a bit. I'm not sure. Either case, let's see. Now, the question is, do we get this world and build on it as fast as possible, or do we just delay it a little bit further, and instead send this construction ship up here to maybe secure this faster? I'm going to go ahead and actually get the planet, because it's getting to the point of the game where we need to start colonizing stuff. Oh, this ocean world, no special resources. These small planets, like the size 12 ones, we're basically going to set them to be rural worlds and just like grow them as big as they'll grow, and then forget about them. They're not that important. I might do some refining on them eventually, but I'm not going out of my way to do that kind of stuff, because size 12 plants, you won't get all that amazing stuff out of them. Wow, look at this. Ooh, 1, 2, 3, and that is within. Okay, this is going to be our research planet, like most likely. That's crazy. We just had one right there. That's phenomenal. Man, okay, let's take a step back and appreciate what a fantastic start this has been. I mean, we've gotten pretty good plants all around, but one of the best archaeology precursors, and then just a free relic world right next door to our home system, our capital world. And not to mention, okay, send that. I don't sell this one. It's actually a chance to get a really good edict. You want to research
Situation
it.
log has been updated.
So yeah, that I like that reward. Now, Earth is getting filled up, or yeah, we need housing. Let's go ahead and get that. I tend not to prioritize city districts at the beginning, but if we want to make Earth into a monopoly, we will need to start migrating workers over to clerk positions, because you can't have any workers on the natural resources. They need to all be on other stuff. So I'm just going to start, as we expand, as we colonize new places, focus on city districts in the capital so that we can change it to a monopoly down the road. Still waiting for this this scanning to finish. It'll take a little while longer. A lot of different little anomalies popping up. Nothing too crazy yet. Now, another terraforming candidate. Wow. Well, that's nice, because we probably will be doing a little bit of terraforming. So, especially with Mars, there's no reason not to pursue it when you start with Earth, and all that good stuff. Now, where do I want this shipyard? It kind of comes down to where will we need the ships the most, and it's looking like the most immediate threats to our well-being are the Synthoid manifold. And that means we want a shipyard generally near where the Synthoids will be. That way, when you get reinforcements, I will take that pact. They'll be more likely, they'll be closer to the front line, so to speak. It's a very long border that we're building here. Not much we can actually do about it, but so much stuff happening all at once. Okay, so where is this one? Bats. It's a bomb. Destroy it. Now, this event is kind of a wild card event. If you have, so it has like 3 possible outcomes. One of them is that one of the plants in the system is just given like bonus research forever, like a planetary modifier. That's pretty good. Another one is it terraforms a planet into a Gaia planet. And then the last one, which is the worst outcome, is it will actually destroy one of the planets in the system. Now, the trouble is, and that's if you keep an eye on it, that's the 3 potential options. Now, the trouble is, the only planet in the system is already a fantastic size 25 relic world. So, only one of those outcomes would actually be beneficial. The other isn't really necessary. And the third is disastrous because we would lose this fantastic planet. So I'm going to say it's bomb and destroy this thing because the negative outcome is potentially losing a size 25 relic world in our home sector, which is, I do not want that. So we'll just get a little bit of free research, and I'm moving my way as fast as possible, trying to get this living metal and this archaeology site, which is a pretty good one. This can have some decent rewards. So, since we're going for this anyway, sneaky election. We actually don't have enough to trigger this, so we're going to have to do our trick again, where we go to the markets and add monthly trade. We will sell you, add, and we will also buy, and we probably don't need to buy 100. Just buy we're so close, so we'll just buy 30 per month. That should be enough to get us up to what we need to get the thing. Hopefully I didn't miss it. We're cutting it real close, aren't we? Come on, update. Okay, phew. Phew, that we almost missed that one. Man. It's overwhelming sometimes. All this crazy stuff at me. I still haven't chosen where I'm going to build that dang spaceport. Okay, I'll just get some opinion from these guys. They're kind of scumbags, but, there are scumbags. I will send a science crew to the lab. There's the negative things that can happen from that really aren't so bad. Gosh. I'm going to let it run for a minute while I take a sip of coffee, and then we'll talk about placing our space stations. Man, that's nice. It's not even good coffee. Honestly, it tastes pretty bad, but it's my coffee. So, let's see here. Yay, we got our thing. Now we can immediately cancel that horrible monthly sell of minerals that we don't want to do. Remove, please. I do want to sell food for a little bit of time because we have too much stored up. So I'll leave that going. Okay, we can finally spread into here. Do we want to do that? Sure. I'm making sure that we have enough so that we can continually spread in this direction. If possible, I would like to kind of scoop this up. It seems these guys are being very aggressive about expansion. But if I can get this and this, and especially the living metal, this will be the edge of our empire, Cursa. I was trying to say in the beginning of the actual the episode, a lot of these stars are real stars, and it's kind of cool to see that. Barnard's star is real, Alpha Centauri, Procyon. This one is actually, it means before the dog. It's because it's the first star that rises in the night sky before the Sirius, the dog star. Let's see, the biosphere, blah blah blah, unique color, sure. That's a fun little reference to a thing. Okay. So you actually have a useful trait, expertise voidcraft. I don't particularly want to risk you on a dangerous mission. So I'm going to send you, how about you go down here, survey here, and then I will push out to this direction, see what we can see. And also, Aeoli, or whatever, I don't like. Survey speed, it's fine. It's not great, though. It's, we're not excited about that one. So if there's a dangerous mission, which the Savannah Labs can potentially be, you go there. Same with pulsating stars. And that way, it's out of my mind. I don't have to worry that I'm accidentally sending a good scientist to a potentially dangerous mission. If he dies, whatever, I won't miss him. It's brutal out here in Stellaris land, you know. People got to learn to be good at their jobs. Otherwise, you get bad assignments. Okay, let's grab Navogi. They beat us to Cursa. Shoot.
Completed.
Yeah, so you can go through them, and like I could go and build a star base here. I'm not sure I'm going to do that. It tends to anger the AI more when you have more connections because they don't like border gore. And who likes border gore, right? I don't blame them. And all that. So okay, we finally have our automatic surveying. Pause real quick, figure out what are we going to invest in. Now, I don't think we have. So here's the thing about upgrading your weapons. You'll get to a certain point where the energy requirements, if you look here, let's see, power usage, 10. And let's go to our ship designer, look at Leica. Well, we still have 20 power left because, you know, I got fusion reactor early. So that's something. We probably would be able to support adding another upgrade to the lasers. So let's see. Go back here. Interesting. So if we get this one, we'll start moving down the particle weapon tree, which isn't a bad thing. Those are the weapons we actually want to rely on the most. But at the same time, do we really want to like go straight for that one, or do we want to hold off and let other useful techs? Because if we start pursuing this, when new cards shuffle in, it'll have the options from this, and that will mean less chance to get some of this stuff. I really wouldn't mind getting better shields at this point. Unfortunately, let's see, their power usage is 20. Hop back here. No. Ship designer. So these power usage, okay, so it would cost us 10. We could still support it with the upgraded fusion reactor, the two deflectors being actual proper shields. I might do that. Now, I'm always on the fence about ship techs for one reason. If you expect an early war and think that you can win that war with lower level technology, it's often worth not investing time and energy into researching the ship components. And the reason why is you can reverse engineer stuff off of the ships that you shoot down from the enemy. So is it really worth putting in a lot of your research points, getting something that you could unlock by scanning, ship debris? I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about, like, one reason I would get this early. Not only do we have some really nasty aliens that I wouldn't mind getting out of the way, so we have some passages and stuff that our science vessels can go through. I also like the idea of having some boost to our Navy, because our fleet power, 985, it's okay. But if we go over here, our big enemy, he's already equivalent, and that's equivalent after we build like 10 more ships. I suspect that he's going to start getting ahead of us in the near future. And that's a problem. Like, do we really want to sit on our hands, fall behind on ship tech, and potentially not be able to fight off some of the big bads, especially with two of them nearby? Now, this guy, the Necromages, won't be able to get to us straight away. I'm thinking about it, actually, let's communicate. We can declare rivalry. There's no penalty. No one's going to be mad at us for rivaling a fanatical purifier. So that's just it's an extra way. See, already we've gone up in relations because we are rivaling. Okay. We are against the Necromages of Nightbirth, which means that we are for the Divine Alari Imperium, and already they've hopped up quite a bit in relations. which is nice because I want migration treaties sooner rather than later. And it'll take a while to convince these darlings because of their authoritarian bent. But I think they will come around, especially if they're mutual enemies and are agreeing to protect them and all that good stuff. So, the other reason why I'm thinking of investing in my ships a bit is we could, in theory, take this fleet and try to fight these aliens, but they would still probably kick our butts. If we invest in shields, though, that's less likely, and I want to win the race clearing these out first because I want to scan their debris. If I wait too long, the Alari will do it for me, which means I miss an opportunity, and I don't think that's such a great idea. So let's go ahead. We'll invest a little bit in ships. We'll go with field manipulation. We have the boost. It shouldn't take too long to get those shields online. So that is how all that works. Oh, these are hilarious. Let's see what they say. That's not hilarious, is it? That's actually terrifying. Some of them are really funny and passive-aggressive and silly, but yeah, your flesh will burn is okay. We get it. You're horrific robot exterminators, and we're very scared. Anyway, yeah, we'll let the game run again. I need to build a shipyard. I keep talking about. And then all this stuff pops up. Okay, yes, please. I definitely want that. Where do we want to put it, though? That's the question. I'm partial to Barnard Star, but it's not actually an ideal location. Ideally, well, long term, best spot for a shipyard will be in the L Gate, right? Because then you can get ships from anywhere. But for now, I think I need to fortify this because we haven't cleared out the L gates. We don't know what's on the other side. There could be some kind of horrific, killing fleet just waiting beyond to wreck us. And if we don't really fortify it, then we'll be wiped out. So for now, this needs to be an anchorage. I don't love making this. I mean, not an anchorage, a bastion. I don't love doing that, but it's kind of a necessity at this point. I'm getting real nervous that this fleet's going to be taken. Our first migration treaty. Awesome. So now we have an important decision to make. Looking around, I still have a ton of stuff to scan. So I don't particularly want to lose the Map the Stars edict. But my capacity is only 1 of 1. So if I don't cancel this, and I pick up Land of Opportunity, I get, it hurts administration and stuff. Yeah, it will boost Empire Sprawl. And already we're moving beyond where we should be with our Empire Sprawl. So, it's a tricky question. I think, so here's my reasoning. We have already researched the tech that boosts survey speed. We've gotten a tradition that boosts research speed. We no longer really care, survey speed, sorry. We no longer particularly care. It's this one, survey speed by plus 35. We don't really care about survey speed much anymore. Now we do care about the 10% anomaly discovery chance, because that's just more opportunities for cool stuff to happen. It's more chances to get all kinds of crazy and helpful events. It's definitely a thing that we want to think about. But is 10% really worth giving up 100% immigration poll and 25% pop growth from immigration? I'm going to say no. We will cancel this. We got a good run out of Map the Stars. We had it up for almost a decade. I think, though, it's time for us to do Land of Opportunity, which is going to be costly, and it'll probably mean, Yeah, we definitely aren't going to be able to go down here now. We'll just secure this border instead. Because we're running out of influence, and the more treaties we make, the less influence generation we'll have. So it's going to get harder and harder to continue this expansion that we've been doing for a long time. I might even consider... Well, I really do want to get this archaeological site. I mean, it's not the best, but it can have a decent reward. We'll see. I might only, though, expand out to Wedgemore? Ouijimore? However you pronounce this, Wegmore. Like, I might only expand out to here and try to fortify this tomb world. That way we'll need to rely a bit less on bastions, because bastions are very expensive alloy-wise. I would much rather do fortresses on colonized planets for my choke points instead. We'll see, though. Like, I would, at the same time, if we get Decidia, that would be a good bastion point. We could probably do a ton of damage to the Synthoids if the Synthoids came at us by catching them in the star system down here with a big bastion. So I don't know. It's a tricky... there's always trade-offs, right? There's always, like, when you make a decision in a game, you're balancing what you stand to gain and what you stand to lose. Now, before I unpause, because I've been talking about forever, let's build us a starport somewhere else besides Earth. I'm going to be controversial about this, and I'm going to build in a less than ideal location simply for the lore of it. So Barnard's star is a real star. None of these other stars are actually real stars. So I kind of like, I'm partial to the idea that since this is a real place, since there really could be eventually some kind of humanity living around Barnard's star, let's have that happen in-game as well. So once that becomes a starbase, that's going to be our main starport. And that's just, it's not ideal. The ideal place for a starport is right behind your bastions. Like if we build a bastion here, this would be good for a starport just because we could get to the front lines all that much quicker. But at the same time, this is more centrally located. And since we're going to have a big, sprawling empire and potential danger coming at us from up here, as well as down here, having it centrally located where it can get to both areas relatively quickly is probably the best choice. So I'm going to go with Barnard's Star because it's equal distant from both of these ends. That's how I'm justifying it. And the real reason is, like, I like the idea of trying to actually colonize in places that feasibly you might be able to colonize at. Now, in reality, Barnard's Star it's a red dwarf star. It's funny. It's the second closest star system to the solar system, after Alpha Centauri. But we can't see it with the naked eye because red dwarfs are so dim and tiny for stars. They actually, even if they're very close, they're very hard to see. We didn't see Barnard's Star until we had very large telescopes. So it's kind of an interesting idea that there are stuff out there that, I mean, they exist. We haven't detected them yet, either because our telescopes can't pick it up, or, you know, like we haven't invented the technology for it. Case in point, we only have just built the first interferometers. Or is interferometer? I think it's interferometer. You know what? Let me check on my phone real quick because I want to get this right. And I got the phone right here. Wikipedia is our friend. Is it interferometer or inferometer? Interferometer. Yes. Okay. So what is an interferometer? Interferometer, right? Very cool concept. So it uses very powerful but very precise and focused lasers. And you have a detector on two different ends. So what happens is any kind of gravitational field that would make the detectors move slightly gets picked up by these little laser pulses shifting. There's a Doppler effect. And it essentially allows us to build a machine that can detect gravitational waves. And we've only just had the laser sensitivity to build these within like the last 2 decades. So, brand new field of astronomy is gravitational astronomy, and they're discovering some crazy new things out there, like black holes that we didn't know were out there, primordial black holes formed at the beginning of the universe. Stuff like there's regions of space that don't give off light but are pulling things towards it gravitationally, and we have no idea why. Like some of it's dark matter, but this is like the voids between galaxies are also pulling pulling stars towards it. So that's strange. Like they're thinking it could potentially be that they're detecting the influence of other universes that are, kind of aligned with ours. It's crazy stuff. Like they're looking at alternate dimensions, as in like dimensions of space that we can't detect because we don't live in them. If you're familiar with string theory, there's up to like 20-something dimensions. It's just that the more dimensions you add onto an equation, the more complicated it gets, and the harder it is to detect stuff because it gets smaller and smaller in terms of how it affects gravity, how it affects matter. It's all crazy, like cutting edge physics stuff, but it's super exciting. I mean, as these interferometers get better and better, it's just like when radio astronomy started, right? And we started to discover things like pulsars and figuring out that, there are other galaxies out there besides just the Milky Way. So I'm really excited to see what interferometers do for astronomy in the future and what crazy discoveries are waiting in the wings. Now, well, since we are talking about building a dedicated trading port, let's go ahead and get this tech. I'm really hoping that the Galactic Administration tech pops, because I want to get back on the biology stuff, but I need Galactic Administration to unlock the more advanced biology. That's why we've been focused on statecraft so long. As for this, interesting. Two very important technologies here. Swarm missiles is not one of those. These are actually pretty bad. They're meant to be harder. Like the idea is like it's Macross, right? I don't know if you ever watch anime Macross, but they'll just launch like a billion bajillion tiny missiles all at once. The whole sky blows up. This is the Macross Missile Massacre, right? Where you just have so many missiles all going at once, you're confusing the point defense systems. Now, and you see that retargeting range 100, speed 18, evasion. Evasion is not great on these, but you're launching, instead of launching one missile at a time, I believe you launch like 6 missiles at once. So the idea is like you're shooting out so many missiles that you are confusing point defense, and a few of them will get through. This is not a good tech, sadly, because point defense is just better than these guys even though it's meant to be kind of like, yeah, these are missiles, but they're better at avoiding, being hit by point defense. They're not as good as torpedoes, which have evasion, and torpedoes with their evasion do much better than swarm missiles. It's just how the mathematics works out. So sadly, this is a tech I didn't really want to see. It's procking because we research a bit into missiles. What I want to see are torpedoes. So I'm not going to pursue swarm missiles, even though it would be a direct upgrade to what we currently have. But since we're talking about direct upgrades, getting destroyers will be very good. Your fleet command goes up, but more importantly, you unlock a new ship chassis, or ship type, I guess is what they call it. Destroyers are so much better than... so basically, destroyers are the anti-Corvettes. Destroyers are designed to shoot down Corvettes. So if you're one of the first powers that have destroyers, and everyone else is riding Corvettes, you'll be more or less unstoppable, at least for until they catch up. You know? So this is a very important tech. I really don't want to end up, passing on it and then never seeing it again. On the flip side, exotic gas refineries. We need this for research. The next tier of science labs depends on exotic gas. We have no easy sources of it that I saw near us. The only way we're going to get exotic gas is with refineries. So we also desperately need this for our science, which is very frustrating. I wish that we weren't faced with this choice. Now, with 2 Fanac purifiers and another unfriendly empire near us, I'm going to go for destroyers, which means we'll be swapping out scientists. Oh, look at this. You lost an election, so you're back in the game. Okay, let's put our... Before I forget, let's find... we've already scanned most of these stars, huh? Well, we haven't finished scanning backs. Oh, and Meticulous Scientist is just on it. Okay. What are you doing? You stop surveying Okay. Instead... Yeah. You can start working on that anomaly. And then we'll figure out what we're doing with you after that. We will probably send you down here to get this stuff. And also just, scan these along the way, etc. But this way, our meticulous scientists will get to do most of the surveying of all these star systems, and that makes me happy. I'm glad for that, too. I'm glad he's back in the fold. I also saw... Let's go back to leaders. Now... Somehow I end up with an extra scientist. So let's fire this useless roamer guy and instead put the biologist back on because I want to do that. I would rather be leveling up a biology expertise than someone who just scans a little bit faster. The fast scanning, it doesn't make much of a difference, and we already have all these boosts of scanning, so why are we trying to boost it further? It does not make sense. So we won't be doing that. Okay, and then, right, tech. I wanted you... Yeah, I wanted to put him onto that, so we get the boost from his expertise, and you can get back to scanning and leveling up. All is right with the world, and we can let the game run. I'm going to pump the speed up, because I've noticed that we've had no progress in our run so far, and that's just because I've been pausing to explain a lot, which is fine, but at a certain point, I want some of that progress. Why can't I build a research station here? Hello? Oh, is it because... Yeah, it's both... So this is kind of annoying, right? We haven't researched dark matter, so we can't build a research station because the dark matter was blocking it until we research it. Alright, we met another alien. Let's go ahead with the investigation. Defensive pact I want, sure, because that'll get me more migration treaties. Awesome. With all these migration treaties, I need to go to Earth, and if we look at here, we have a little bit of pull, right? Because of the land of opportunity and all that, and free housing and stuff, and some free jobs. So that's good, but we can make it better. We can make it much better. So distribute the luxury goods. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, now that point 3 will go up, and hopefully we'll start getting some aliens on our planet, so that we can start making freakish alien hybrid babies, the likes of which should never have been born. I have written the script, by the way, to, I think I promised a few episodes back. Oh, let's not expand here for now. What I want is to secure this border, so don't worry about grabbing these planets just yet. I need to get down here before we clear this, because I don't want him to just swoop in and grab all this stuff. I want this planet for the Granur. Oh, there's my dog! For the Granur ruins. Yeah, we need to secure that, absolutely. And we really need to get going on the Granur ruins, actually. So I'm going to send you down here and actually do that, because it's silly that we have a precursor that we've just been sitting on for almost 33 decades now. So let's get going on that, because I want all the boosts and stuff that he does. It's just because he... so my strategy, this was one thing I didn't quite think about when I talked about scanning far away before scanning close by, is the precursors popped really far away, so it's taking me some time to expand all the way down there. But, you know, like I said, every time you make decisions, it means you're giving up one possibility to get another. And I still stand by the strategy. I liked finding out where all these guys were first. If I had taken too long to scan, I doubt I would have gone Verakus Black Hole. I doubt I would have been able to get Navogi. Yeah, it definitely paid off in the end, in my mind. So I feel pretty good about that. But on the flip side, it does mean we're still waiting to do our precursor archaeology stuff. And we'll probably be waiting a little bit longer, because I don't really have a free scientist. They're all scanning stuff. But eventually you'll scan the galaxy, and they will... oh, yes, I definitely want a Ministry of Culture. They are delicious. We're going to put this Ministry of Cultures... So, this is a little Easter egg, and it's kind of a fun one. If you start as a UNE, you actually are secretly starting with a Lost Colony origin. And you are guaranteed to spawn the Commonwealth of Man somewhere in the galaxy. It's one reason I love playing the UNE, because you can cheat in more species than you would normally have in a game. There's another way to do that, and that is with the Hegemony start origin. I don't do that origin, and the only reason why is it makes the Hegemony far too strong, and they end up just blobbing out and taking over everything, and it's not fun. Like, I don't get a chance to meet other aliens because they wipe out everybody, and it's just the Hegemony blob, which I don't like doing anymore. I used to have like one Hegemony origin, and I found that they always took over half the galaxy, and it was bad. So we're not doing that anymore. So the Commonwealth of Man, this is a really fun little story. This is part of Stellaris' official story, right? Humans were doing experiments, and some of the colony ships they were testing vanished. And when they vanished, everyone assumed that, well, I guess, they fell out of the warp lanes, or their hyperdrive lanes, or whatever they're called, and they're just, poof, they died. But they didn't die. One of the colony ships made it to a star system, and they've been growing ever since. And they're actually, they are the same species as us. So now if we go to Species tab, now that we've met them, it's 42 now, but when I say, okay, I'll threaten them a bit. And if you want to read, their little, yeah, they talk about how they depart on the Ulysses Ark ships, and all this. They thought Earth was destroyed, and we're a lost colony, and all that. So they tend to be bad guys. They're almost completely opposite in their feelings towards aliens. They're xenophobes. They're militaristic. Instead of being kind of, the xenophile, happy-go-lucky UNE. It's kind of fun. And this is a very real scenario that I can see happening once we start colonizing star systems. Basically, the communication lag between stars, because light takes time to get between stars. If we had someone living today on Alpha Centauri, and you try to make a phone call, it would take a little over 4 years for them to get that phone call, just because light travels at light speed, and they're 4 light years away. That's what a light year means. It's a distance light travels in 1 year. So, yeah, and with that kind of lag time, you can expect the colonies will eventually go their own way and do their own thing. And it's potentially an argument against interstellar colonization. If you care very much about preserving your culture, if you're worried, and your species, if you're worried about what might happen if you just allow all these colonies to go off and do whatever they want, because they could potentially turn into your enemy in the future, maybe you don't go and colonize beyond your solar or your star system. Maybe you just stay where you are, because it's safer that way, instead of potentially making a bunch of enemies out there by literally like sending your own people to become your enemies in the future. And we know from Earth's history, most colonies do tend to eventually break away, and that was just on the Earth. That was like, there's not much distance between like the United States and Great Britain, but that was still enough to cause, a rift. So if that can happen on one planet, imagine the kinds of like, ethic differences, the differences in political philosophy, all that kind of stuff that prop up just from being completely like distant from each other, to the point that even communication takes years. So I don't know. It's an interesting idea. I like that they followed the trope in Stellaris. We'll see how it works out. Now remember the number. We had 42. I think this will go up now, right, to reflect the humans living on, if I hit toggle species, 82. Because they are our species, right? They're humans as well. Okay, so the starbase is finished. So that's why, like, now we're, like, it's misleading, because it looks like, we go to our species tab, it looks like humans are kicking ass, right? Like, we've got 82 pops. That's twice what the synthoids have, but that's not accurate. We only have 42 pops, and as I said, last episode, the synthoids have already caught up and surpassed us. Now, I think if you toggle Empire Species, that'll show us the true number that we have, because we only got the 42 humans on the one planet. So we got to get those numbers up, and that's why we're going to start thinking about colonizing and all that good stuff. But before we do that, we're going to spend all of our alloys on this instead. Getting our dedicated shipyard with crew quarters. Crew quarters are very important. They save you a lot of energy, actually. I'm going to... Now, this is how you reassign them to a different starbase. So now their home base is Barnard Star, and I'll just go ahead and tell them to go to the home base. As you can see, the Commonwealth of Man hate us. And have already closed off their borders, and they're doing better than we are. They've got 2 colonies already. They're spread out. They're going to be a pretty major threat, and they're warlike. Like, yeah, I think we're going to have to be dealing with these guys as enemies in the near future. Kind of a fun little thing. I like that Stellaris does that. On the flip side, we are quickly developing some very nice relations with these guys. The Streamtai Shrew cannot join any alliance or anything, but these guys can, and these guys can, and they've offered certain treaties already, so I'm feeling pretty good overall about that. So let's hit unpause, and let's see, Vulcan is here. Did I already send a ship down that direction? I did. Okay, cool. Yeah, so that's just that. It's an event. It gets you happiness. It's a good one. I'm not unhappy to see that one, but at the same time, it's also it's a temporary buff. We don't really have to pay a tremendous amount of attention to it, just because it's not going to. It just doesn't do much. Let's go back to building up our food. We've saved up a lot of energy credits. I think we are pretty golden in that regard. As for, so we're still spreading around and all that. I think, for now, I'm going to secure backs so that maybe we can start doing archaeology stuff with it. Actually, no. I changed my mind. This guy who was moving down here, I'll have you move the backs. And this guy who happens to be in this area already and is good to go, you can go down there and secure our precursor. Wow, we met a new contact, the Gorf Star Pact. So I had a lot of fun with this one. This is a very hidden Easter egg AI personality that you can unlock if you get the exact right combination of what was it, like these traits. So you need Fanagenophile, you need Militarist, just the one, and if you go to Species, sorry, some random things beeping in the background. You probably can't hear it. You go to the Gorf, right? I'm trying to look at you, you beautiful sphinxes. Okay, well, just somewhere delighted to see them. We can pause for a second. And then you go to Species, and you get them Venerable, Solitary, and Repugnant. You have to do that exact combination of things, right? They need these species traits, and they need Gorf. And they need these ethics. If you do that, you can unlock Fanatical Befrienders. So Fanatical Befrienders, they will make friends by any means necessary. If they can't befriend some alien around them, they'll instead declare war on them to vassalize them or to change their ideology to make them more friendly to them. It's a very silly and fun kind of Easter egg. I definitely had to get some Fanatical Befrienders into the game because they are completely crazy. They will declare war all the time. Like they're real bullies, but they also like try to get treaties with friendly civilizations all the time. They tend to blob out through treaties and federation building and stuff, and they're a wild card. You never know what they're going to do. If they feel like you're not being friendly enough with them, they will fight you. So luckily though, we're Xenophile. They're Xenophile. We're already at friendly. We will probably be at the next level of attitude, which is excellent relations, sooner rather than later. And they're already offering to do a migration treaty. We could probably take that. The only issue is they won't like the Earth as a planet, so they're very unlikely to migrate, even with a bunch of migration boosts. And I'm very low on influence gain, so I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do with this. Maybe we'll just leave them to figure it out for us. I had fun, really kind of happy Easter looking colors, like some paint. It looks like just a happy little can you imagine being taken over by these aliens with a pink and yellow paint job on their spaceships? They're great. Anyway, so since we got a shipyard building, we can officially decommission this. We no longer need it. And the reason I'm decommissioning it is it costs upkeep. Why should we waste energy when we don't need it? And also we will replace... now, I think you can just dismantle, it automatically dismantles if you select to build this. I'm going to opt to dismantle first because I think it'll save us that 1 gold per tick cost while this builds. So that's what I'm going to do. And thankfully, this should really help us in terms of...
We are being hailed.
Already the Gorf want all these treaties with us, and that's fine. We'll blow the glass for influence on that. We might need to find another rival in the future, and maybe Commonwealth of Man. Already a migration treaty, sure. Done deal. More the merrier. Yeah, and so, the Gorf, they told you they would love us immediately.
We are being hailed.
Go ahead. They're going to just spam us with treaties. Okay, so this one, the only reason they give you an option here is this one takes 20 minutes. It's crazy. It takes a very long time to research it. So you're going to be dedicating a scientist to that research for forever. So yeah, let's
Situation
just
log has been updated.
we will take it. I don't mind dedicating science to it because most of my scientists they're nearly done anyway with like scanning. We're starting to hit edges of the map that we can't actually get to. So the days of surveying things are now coming to a close. There's a little bit left. There's still some. The frontier hasn't completely closed, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Okay, and now that we have this trade hub building, that will unlock this extra trade value, which is good because we'll get more consumer goods, which means we can afford more labs, and labs are delicious.
Completed.
So, and we definitely need as many of those as we possibly get. Hey, you were at Zorf. Let's not expand to Zorf yet, but let's be kind of close to there. It'd be kind of fun to have like an enclave of Gorf living in Zorf, don't you think? Waste not, want not. Go ahead. I just realized. Okay, let's. Oh, you're not doing anything. Facts. I don't need the energy right now. I don't mind. I have no more influence gain, so I'm gonna focus all my expansion stuff now on getting down to Sita, which I don't know. We're going to have to find some more experience somewhere. These factions are surprisingly not happy. They should be.
Has been updated.
Why aren't you happy? What are we missing? Enclaves Incorporated. Okay, we can do that. And Federated. I can't stand the Federation mechanic. It's frustrating. Even with the update, it's frustrating. I don't particularly want it. Oh no! Don't go back there. Don't be like that. Go here.
Construction completed.
Anyway, I'm gonna send him down here just to see what's going on with this black hole down here.
System survey.
Survey that, please. Yeah, research. Where are you?
A special project.
Good. Go ahead and build that. Are you done? You are done. Perfect timing. You can go ahead and excavate site, I guess. Oh, you have meticulous. Is this one also meticulous? Yeah, we got meticulous already. So I'll have this one dedicated. I probably should not have meticulous scientists on this. Yeah. And the reason why, let's cancel, is we get more anomalies if you're out there surveying. So let's put, who can we spare that we won't care if they are kind of locked up in archaeology for a while. You have nothing special going on. I'm going to put you on the archaeology in that case. As for the other scientists, we'll assign you to here because you have scanning. And just to make sure, let me look at my leader pool. So, it's oh, I have enough money now. Let's get rid of this eager one. You're fired because you're useless. Architectural interest, for sure, is so much better. I should have done that ages ago, but, you know, I've been talking and doing stuff, so I missed it. Let's get another job going. I'm pretty good on everything, honestly. Like, yeah. Huge income all around. So I guess just focus on getting city districts. They're not a good... normally you don't care about city districts early game. You care about stuff like generator districts and mining, etc. But in the nearish future, I want this to be a Yucca Monopoly, and you can't be a Yucca Monopoly if you have generator mining or agricultural districts. So we have to start making that move. So the sooner we do it, the sooner we'll be ready and all that. Excuse me. Let's see here. The exile. So this is kind of tricky. The exile event, you can choose to get a free scientist, and they usually have pretty decent skill ups. They'll have like 1 or 2 expertises. They're usually pretty good. But we have a mountain of leveled up scientists already. So I'm just going to get the physics research. It's not that huge of a boost, but if we aren't going to get any advantage out of an additional scientist anyway, why bother? And so there's a whole mysterious thing that went on with the scientist. I think that it's meant to be a reference to one of my favorite movies, John Carpenter's The Thing. And if you haven't seen it, what are you doing with your life? It's got Kurt Russell. It's badass, amazing practical effects. It's such a good movie, and go watch it. Go watch it right now. In fact, I want you to literally stop watching me and go watch Kurt Russell kicking butt in John Carpenter's The Thing. Thank you. Good night.